Welcome to Velantros Reviews. I trust you are all doing well. Today we're going to take a look at one of the 13 primes. We're going to take a look at Solus Prime. And here we have her inner packaging. Some nice artwork there on the front. And in fact, the one picture there where she's got the hammer on her shoulder, that's also on the side here and looks pretty cool. We've got 28 steps, which I happen to have noticed some of the more recent aerial bots and at least one of the Constructicons, they only have 17 steps. I have heard that there's a lot of panel shifting that goes on with her, and that sometimes there can be problems with that. We'll have to see how that goes. And then also, hopefully my ankle isn't too bad. So we'll take a look. I've heard the ankles can be bad, or rather loose and not stay together very well. And then on the side here we have part of the mural of the 13 primes, and we can see Solus here right there. So we can bring that in actually a little bit. So there you go. So of course the top. Oh, and we have our plastic windows back. And one thing that's kind of nice is the boxes are slightly more uniform. They don't have the funny angles on them. We'll get her out of the packaging and go from there. So we'll just open her up here. Then we can take this paper. We don't need that. Put it in there. Alright, we just have, so we're back to having, well, I mean, I can't even keep track, but anyways, no, it was plastic for a while. So we're back to plastic pieces, holding them in. Just kind of get her out of there. And free up this one. And what do we got? Oops. Accidentally made that about 10 million times more difficult than I needed to. Got that hooked up and around, all funny. Anyways, so down to here. We're gonna just not be able to. Yeah, okay, we're gonna run into a problem there. It's easier just to cut it. Sorry for that. There we go. That piece. Okay. Now that piece went shooting off. Okay. So we're just going to bring her in here for a second. So you got some pretty good details there on the face. There we go. You can see there's even the little spot under the chin, or on the edge of her chin there. If you look at the box art, there's that mark there just on the bottom of her chin, and they were sure to get that in there. Got some good detail there. The shoulder pads look cool. And they have a lot of detail on them. Go around to the back here, we can see, of course, but even then, it's not, the profile is really good. It's pretty thin. And we've got the apron, so that's pretty cool. Looks neat. Again, some nice details and whatnot there. So check it out. We've got ankle tilt. We have a calf. Whoop, oh, I just happened to move that funny. We have a calf bend. I slid it off the mushy preg by accident. We have a knee bend. So you can actually get sort of about that much of a bend out of that. Of course, the tire sort of gets in the way, but whatever. It's just extra mobility than usual due to transformation. You can get a full turn out of that, and arms can go all the way around. I never did this earlier. The legs can go all the way out, almost, depending on where everybody's sitting. There we go. And can we go forward and back, kind of, with a little bit off to the side. But I mean, really, there's some really great movement there. Oh, that's probably, is that the ankle that, yeah, see, that's not too bad. That's not too bad either. If that's the issues people have had, then mine seems to be all right. I mean, time may tell, and transformation may tell as well, but all around pretty cool. And so just look at the back. You can see the back of the head has lines molded into it. Sort of look like hair, but all around good looking figure. Oh, and yeah, head can tilt back and can rotate. Not quite 360, but can rotate pretty far. Is it because of, yeah, okay, never mind. I'm wrong. You can rotate 360. Just need to move everything so that there's clearance, because the hair does almost get in the way. Sort of does get in the way. Yeah, I would say, you know, no need to specifically do a 360. But yeah. All right, so I'm going to work at transforming her and then come back. Oh, and we should get this out of here too. All right. There we go. There's the hammer. There we go. Oops. No. What in the world? Well, that seems kind of, well, it doesn't matter in the end, but I would have liked if it didn't have to be put in that way. So, yeah, you kind of got to jam that through like that. I mean, in the end, I mean, that looks awesome. I was just recently noticing that they've got quite a few characters that have some pretty cool swords. You could almost have like a paladin with a hammer kind of idea. Anyways, really cool. That's not at all what she was, but Yeah, that doesn't look too bad. So we're going to come back after I transformer. I'm decided I'm not going to bother doing them on screen anymore. So we'll be back in a minute and go from there. I'll mention any major issues or show you stuff in between. But all right, so there she is, all transformed. So what can I say about that? Well, it's pretty cool. The weapon mounts to the side of the alt mode here. If I put this on a surface that isn't a shiny flat surface, the wheels roll fine. They roll a little funky on the flat surface, but that's okay. So there's the front of the vehicle and that side profile from the back and the other side. We'll just take this off here. It just has, there's a, whatever, I guess a slot that fits into. Right there's the slot, so it just pegs in like that. Anyways, so as far as the transformation goes, I can appreciate a lot of the issues that other people have had. One of the things right off the bat, you can see here, there's a little slight change in colors there. There's a hole and then the tab that goes into there. And then down here, this piece here slots into here. So this actually all disengages. And you've got a notch there. And then up here, we have a piece that pops out that goes into here. This fits together nicely. Whoopsies. This fits together really nicely on this side. Now on this side, which I believe is the problem ankle, which just seems to be fiddly, this did not fit. This was way too tight. It was just too large. The tolerance was wrong, and you couldn't get the pieces to go together. I had to take it just a tiny little bit off of there for that to go okay. And even now, like, it's still kind of funny. There we go. That was just not quite right. But anyways, so it was just way too big. This piece here is one of the panels people complain that come off during transformation. I ended up popping the two pieces off and testing, and this piece was fine. This piece was just too big. So that's kind of disappointing, but I'm glad that I was able to make it work out okay. And then there's some panels that flip out in here that are part of the arm. Let's see here. This piece here, the way it transforms, this here rotates around. So you take this, which used to be the shoulders pads, then you turn that around, and then this whole piece, you're bringing it up over the shoulder, and a lot of people will have the pieces snap off. Again, makes sense. The tolerances are real particular, and you know in the end, I really didn't have that much trouble. My biggest problem was this one piece just being too big, and the peg basically not fitting into the slot, and causing it to just constantly pop out. But other than that, it's actually not too bad. You know, there's some finicky parts, but I don't think that it's horrible. It would be nice if it was smoother, that's for sure. But yeah, and then it's not too bad of a Cybertronian mode, I don't think. It's kind of a neat idea. And yeah, I'm quite happy. I was really worried about this figure. But in the end, I'm happy. Messing around, and you can kind of pull off this look. So if you take this piece off, it can kind of look like a cannon at the front. If you wanted to have all your pieces together, I mean, you could put it in, but then it just looks kind of, I don't know. So at least this looks like a cannon barrel, but it is hindered by the peg. That peg there is making it so you can't really push this down all the way. You just sort of have to set it gently in there. I mean, you could stick this onto the side. Oops. Oh, for Pete's sake. That's what I mean. It's not too bad. Again, after fiddling around with that, at least all fits. Yeah, you could have that on the side there. Again, it just has to be loose for it to even look straight. But yeah, you could do something like that if you want. So, and again, it's pretty rolly.